Alan Dershowitz offers a piece in this morning's Daily Caller challenging the notion that Mr. Trump can simply wave his magic executive order pen and make birthright citizenship go away. Dershowitz quibbles about the key phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and says he's not sure what that means, mostly because the Constitution doesn't define exactly what that is. I'm convinced that the phrase applies to the kiddo's parents, even if they aren't subject to the jurisdiction, or they owe allegiance to some other country and haven't become citizens themselves. Therefore, the kiddo isn't either. Even the 14th Amendment doesn't suggest that foreign parents visiting the country who happen to birth a kid somehow become citizens themselves. The 14th was one of the first amendments written and suggested after the original 10, the Bill of Rights. Maybe amendment writers hadn't got the hang of it yet, and while the first 10 are pretty explicit, the ones afterward contain territory ripe for interpretation by a Supreme Court. That's what they do, you know. In my mind, the folks the amendment applied to originally already lived here. The National Archives page says the amendment refers specifically to former enslaved peoples, which wouldn't apply all that well for someone from Tijuana. The Dred Scott decision was issued 9 years before Congress wrote and passed the 14th Amendment, mentioning specifically Dred and Harriet Scott and their pursuit of freedom. The authors of the 14th, Congressman John Bingham of Ohio and Michigan Senator Jacob Howard, were more intent on extending the Bill of Rights, restrictions on the federal government, into the states. But there is still legal action over individual rights within state boundaries. Trump talked about doing away with birthright citizenship in his first term, but didn't pull the trigger until his second. 14 Democrat attorneys general and the ACLU have promised to sue. I'm thinking that was Trump's plan all along, to get the Supreme Court involved. Good. The 14th Amendment needs some clarification. I'm David Allen Pine.